Hey, what's up everyone? Tim here from Everyday Tactical Vids. Today we're looking at this, which is a multi-tool axe, knife, shovel, fire seal, a bunch of different things built into this little kit. I think this is a good product for car camping. It's a good product to keep in your car if you are, wanting a multi-use tool that you can use in a lot of different ways. If you're somebody who's already got your favorite knife, your favorite axe, your favorite fire seal, all those things, then maybe you just want to keep those dedicated products, because a dedicated product is always going to work better than a multi-tool product. It's just the nature of the functions. But I do think there's a place for this if you are, like I said, doing car camping. You want an emergency tool to keep in your car. So let me show you the different features. I'll show you some live, I'll roll in some footage, and then you can see maybe if this fits into one of your systems. First off, let me just talk about the bag. Functions well, it carries the product. You do have a strap here. You can extend it out for, it to be longer or shorter. It does come with this little ruler, which is, a little bonus. It's not gonna, they didn't charge you a ton of extra money for this. And basically you can open it up, so it's gonna be 16 inches long from end to end. So there's that. You can attach it with those two straps if you want to attach it to carry it on a belt. I wouldn't generally do that, but basically this is gonna carry the tool, and I think that works well. It does come with instructions. There's some information on this side and then some information on the back about how to actually put it together. All right, so looking at here, you can see the three handle sections. We've got a blade, we've got a serrated edge, we've got a plain edge. We've got a can opener and a bottle opener. We got a hex driver, we got a whistle and a fire seal. You got the shovel down there on the bottom, and then the axe head over there. All right, quick look at the sheet that goes over the axe head. Very functional, just covers it up. Nothing super fancy, but it gets the job done. You can see you do have a pommel here on the back. Or a hammer, I guess you could say, so you can drive stakes or nails. And then on this end you've got a glass breaker as well. Now you can see here what I've done is I put two of the handle sections, so 1, 2 together. You can also make it into a very small little hatchet if you want to just use one of the handle sections. Little wood processing here. So I'll roll in some additional footage here. I've used this, like you can see, on and off camera. It does the job fine. It's going to cut some small pieces of wood. You're not going to fell any large trees with this. It is a very slim profile. So it's not going to be an amazing splitter if you got big logs, but you can definitely process down some wood if you're going to make a little campfire. You could certainly do that. And it's going to, it's going to chop through, I would say, maybe 3-4 inch logs or trees. Fine. It'll take you a little bit of work. But it definitely got the job done for me. This is definitely overkill for a stake, but just so you can see how the hammer works. Definitely get the job done for you. Here's a quick look at the profile too. You can see how thin that is. So like I said, you're not going to be, felling huge trees or splitting tons of logs, but it'll get the job done. I can tell you, having used it, my concern about these things, because you have multiple sections, is always that they're going to come loose, but because of the O-rings that are included, it's definitely stayed together nicely despite all the work I put it through. All right, let's talk about the knife real quick. One of the things that makes this a little bit clunky for like longer term use is how long the handle is and how short the blade is. So you generally want to choke up here, but back here is where the grip is, and this just feels weird to hold all the way down here to use it. But then again, it does some basic work. You're going to see some feathers that I made with it when I was feather sticking. The serrated edge will give you some notches as well. You got kind of a little piercing tip there. You can open up bottles. I originally said there was a can opener, but there's no can opener. It's not sharp enough to do that. You could cut some food up with it. It's going to get the job done for those basic tasks. And I think, again, if you're car camping and you're like, oh man, I forgot to bring a knife to cut up some food or make some feathers for a little fire that you're going to get started, I think this thing will function just fine for those purposes. Definitely not an SE6, but it'll cut. I will mention, for both the knife and the axe, They came decently sharp, but not amazingly sharp, so I would definitely sharpen them up before you head out into the field. All right, so here's a look at your fire steel on this end and then your whistle on this end. We'll use the fire steel in a minute, but let me step away from the camera and actually test the whistle out so you can hear it. I've used products similar to this one before with the fire steel and the whistle, and actually the whistle is generally pretty impressive, so let's see how this works out. Yeah, so the whistle definitely works. Nice high pitch, attention grabbing noise there. All right, so for the fire steel, you could definitely use the blade. I'm going to use the edge here of the axe head just because then I don't beat up my blade as much. Here's a look at the shovel all assembled. It's about 3 feet from end to end, give or take. You do have a nail puller option in the head of the shovel and a couple hex wrenches. You do have a serrated edge, which is probably going to be easier to use the knife serrated edge as opposed to that, I think. The edge of it's sharpened up, but as soon as you put it into the ground, it's going to dull up. You could use it for chopping, but you got the axe, so I would use the axe instead. A little bit different functionality. All right, so there's a quick look at the shovel axe multi-tool. I'm going to use it a little bit more off camera, and then I'll come back and report in. Thus far, my conclusion that I offered at the beginning, or my suspicions I offered at the beginning, are basically lined up with my conclusion so far. You know, not the ultimate survival tool, but a good tool to keep in your car for car camping, emergencies. And with something like this, if your car gets stuck in snow, you can break up some ice underneath it with the axe, or with the back of the axe with the driving, you know, the hammer basically. You could shovel out with the shovel. If you get stuck, you could make a fire with the fire steel. I mean, lots of little bits of functionality that could come together to be a help in a situation. But let me use it a little bit more off camera, and then I'll come back in and report to you what I think about the product overall. All right, guys, I've had a chance to use this thing on camera and off camera as well. Let me give you my final thoughts. So price point, first off, is going to be around 60 bucks. So again, I'm going to stand by what I said before. General like survival tool if you're getting into it, camping tool, emergency car tool. I think it's going to do a bunch of those things well. I think the shovel is really the best option within it. The axe is good, it works. The knife is fine, not great, but it's fine. But the shovel's been solid. I do like the fact that you've got a nice long handle. You can also just go down to one handle, you know, and have something more like a hand shovel or a hand spade. What do they call it? You know, that you use for gardening or something like that. I do like the fact that you can put this at multiple angles as well. Loosen this up, lock it in like this. Now you basically got like an entrenching style tool set up like this. You know, if you need a tool to keep in a car for general use for emergencies, or just you're out and about in the woods doing some, you know, front country camping or something, then I think this could be something worth checking out. 60 bucks, you know, to get a shovel by itself, like a cold steel shovel or something like that, it's probably going to run you, say, 20 or 30 bucks, let's say. To get a little hatchet or axe, it's going to run you another probably 20 or 30 bucks, let's say. So you start putting those prices together, and you're going to see it's going to add up. With this system, you get a bunch of extra items, so I think that's pretty cool. I'm not taking the shovel and the axe instead of my topsail chete into the woods, but it's going to serve at a basic level and for, like I said, that kind of a lighter use overall. So let's hear your thoughts on these types of tools overall, and then this particular one from Iunio. And I've got links down in the description section if you want to head over to Amazon to pick this up. And yeah, let's get the conversation started in the comment section now. All right, guys, thanks as always for checking out the videos here on YouTube. Please subscribe to Everyday Tactical Vids if you haven't done so already. Like us on Facebook, follow us on Twitter, check us out on Instagram, Tumblr, and Vero as well. More videos coming soon. Take care.